Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz, and this is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So, this week, the Texans will be at home hosting the Tennessee Titans in a rivalry game with another Texas team. Well, let's just say a former Texas team, if you will. So, I get into all that and what the Texans need to do to win that game. First, let me go ahead and do a quick game recap of the Monday night game against the Dallas Cowboys. So, Texans beat the Cowboys 34 to 10 on Monday Night Football on the road. Very good win, very solid win. A couple things I took away from it: better pass protection, if you will. They only sacked C.J. Stroud one time, but considering the problems that the O line has had in recent weeks, that is pretty much a win at this point. Um, Joe Mixon had 109 yards, ran for 3 touchdowns in this game. Very solid performance by him. I think he even made history as having 10 touchdowns in his first 10 games or something like that. It was a pretty big stat that I forgot, so my bad. But pretty big stat by Joe Mixon. Um, Defense started slow. Then they picked things up in the game. 5 sacks overall in the game. Two of them by Danielle Hunter. An interception by Derek Stingley. And, well, they held them down to 10 points. Mind you, they gave up 350 for passing yards, but a lot of that was pretty much in garbage time. So, very solid job by the defense. Overall, what I took away from this win, that it was a much needed win at this time, considering the things that uh, have been going on um, with this. Considering the things that have been going on the past few weeks, as far as like the losses, sacks, all this other stuff, um, it's just been a really great win, a great solid win for this team, especially with the bye week approaching, and after the bye week, that little run with the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Ravens all happening around that time. This was a game where the Texans kind of needed to put all the positives together and actually put forth an effort, a positive effort on the field. So that's what I took away from this game. Now, mind you, it is the Cowboys, and on paper, I say that to say, like, on paper, not much is there's not much to get excited about. But if this was any other team, you would probably it would probably think like, yeah, you're right. There's nothing much to get excited about. But it is the Cowboys. This is a game that the fan bases care about. And the Cowboys fans, that can probably blow it off like or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? It's look, we know you're a Texans fan. You know the culture. I said it on the last week's preview. Everybody has a family member, coworker, or somebody that's a Cowboys fan. And so this game, them winning it, you know what I'm saying. You could throw it in that other person's face. Um, so this was very big for the fan base itself to get them energized. Definitely. So great, solid win for the Texans, straight up. As far as news throughout the week, there wasn't much to really just kind of harp on. However, I can't just really do that because there was one little note. I'm not even gonna like to call it a little note. So Beyonce was announced as the halftime performer for the Texans game against that we're going to be playing against the Ravens on Christmas Day, and so Beyonce is pretty big. Um, and I think the story itself is not really something that's pertaining to Texans football, other than it's at halftime of the game. Um, I have my I have my own thoughts about this whole Beyonce performance, and it really has nothing to do with the Texans playing the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? And this announcement came after Netflix had the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight when they had the whole, and I don't know if anybody saw the fight or not saw the fight, if you will. But Netflix had the whole issue of outages, like about 60 million plus, probably I think upwards to 200 million plus outages, some wild number. You know what I'm saying? So um, So the announcement came like after that whole thing happened. So to me, I don't really have a take on Beyonce's performance. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I know it's going to bring in a lot more eyes probably to this game. Some people are probably just going to be like, they're just going to show up at halftime or right before halftime just to see Beyonce. And, you know what I'm saying? That's fine or whatever. Some people will probably just be, glued just to see if they're going to catch Beyonce like they catch Taylor Swift at a Chiefs game. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. It's Christmas, so ain't gonna be too much on TV. Uh, I think I think the 76ers are playing, but with the NBA, who knows who's actually playing in the games that day. So, um, but other than that, it's just going to be a lot more eyes probably on this game, and so yeah, that's something that what I'm saying Texans should be hyped for. The whole world is still trying to figure out who this Texans team is. Some people excited, some people skeptical. What I'm saying it's really probably might be the biggest stage that CJ Stroud has been on since he was since his college days, really. He's been on a few primetime games here and there, but this Netflix on Christmas special might, be just a little bit bigger uh, than what he's been on so far this season. So looking forward to that. Just as far as like the Beyonce performance itself, I think the best take that has been given about this is from Bomani Jones on this podcast. He was like, he's not the one to tell the people at Netflix how to do their jobs, but they better have this shit fixed by halftime. I thought that was the greatest line ever. So, yeah, shout out to Beyonce, obviously, like she needs a shout out from me. But yeah, looking forward to this game. Texans taking on the Ravens against a whole bunch of people. So we'll see how that goes. Um, Injuries, not too much on the injury front. Injury list is getting a little bit shorter, thank God. Uh, Christian Harris, they're saying that he should be back pretty soon. He's progressing really well. Still on injured reserve for the moment, but uh, that keep they keep hinting that his return is like really really imminent. So hopefully that'll come around sooner rather than later. Will Anderson, he's back in practice. I think he was listed as a full participant, if I'm not mistaken. I should have had this injury list up, but um, yeah, he was spotted back in practice. So he was out this last game. I think the game before that as well, he was out. So Texans are definitely going to be welcoming his return. Yes, limited practice participant. Kamari Lassiter, he missed his last game, so he's been listed as full participant. Um, let's see, the same limited participation also for Aziz Al Shahir and Derek Stingley, but Derek Stingley should be good to go. Obviously had the interception in the last game, so nothing major. Uh, as far as like did not practice. Danico Autry, he missed practice. Foley Fatakasi and Blake Fisher all had did not practice designations on them today. Um, and I'm recording on Thursday, so who knows what'll happen between now and Sunday. So, with that being said, time to get right into the game. Once again, Texans, they're going to be playing, they're going to be hosting Tennessee Titans this Sunday. And for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much the same script um, that the Texans had kind of going into the Cowboys game. A rivalry game, except this one might be a little bit have a little bit more tension in it, a little bit more grievance in it. You know what I'm saying? Number one, Tennessee is a division rival, so every year we're expected to see them, you know what I'm saying, put up with their foolishness and nonsense. And obviously, if you're old enough, you remember that the Tennessee Titans used to be the Houston Oilers. And so that little controversy came to a head last season when they decided to wear the Oilers throwbacks uh, against us when we went to go visit them. And, we ended up beating them in overtime. Mind you, we didn't have CJ Stroud. Case Keenum was starting that game. And we ended up beating these guys in overtime. And so, that kind of started that's this whole throwback uniform thing, or who owns the rights to the Houston Oilers colorways, has kind of been going on like since maybe I would say a few years now. Last year you even saw U of H transform like sport the Love You Blue uniforms, or an addition or a version of the Love You Blue uniforms at a couple of their games. And so it's so fast forward to this year, Texans, they got the new uniform change. They got hints of the Columbia blue inside some of the new designs. And so um we cannot we couldn't wear those particular like H's on the helmets uh in this game, because we've already did like three alternates this year or whatever. So um I will, boohoo. But but other than that, just even without the uniform controversy, um, the rivalry is still going to be there. The tension is still going to be there. The battle is still going to be there between these two teams. Even with the Titans season, which is pretty much done at this moment, um, you know they went back. They just got Will Levis back not too long ago after he was injured. They traded away DeAndre Hopkins, so it's going to be a real crazy. It's not even crazy. It's it's done for them. But despite all that, they're going to put up a fight. Even without them losing Derrick Henry in the offseason, which is going to be a big relief for us until we see the Ravens. But that's a whole other story. So, despite all that, the Titans, they're going to be looking to put up a fight, and the Texans cannot sleep on that fact alone. So what the Texans only got to do like just a couple of things to really just go out and get this win this weekend. So first up, they cannot sleep on this Titans pass defense. Um, it's the best thing that the Titans have. They're top 10 in like quite a few categories. The best way to counteract this is to really just run the ball. Excuse me. Just run the ball. Joe Mixon, he's been awesome this year. He's missed a couple of games as well, but you know what I'm saying. Just he still has been a great addition to this Texans offense, and he's proved it. You know what I'm saying. Last week he had 109 yards. I think since he got back in the lineup, there's only been one game where he has not rushed for 100 yards, and really. Despite the O-line's criticisms as far as pass protection, they've been doing a great job opening up lanes for him to go through and just really getting his running game on track. So I would definitely say make a priority of running the ball. Running the ball enough to where you establish it and bring some of the defenders in the box, and then you can use the receivers to just kind of attack the outsides, basically. So definitely get that going with him. Also, if we follow through with that plan, don't be afraid to use Nico. He just got back. He had a little bit of a quiet night, considering that um, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was kind of a quiet night compared to his previous, to his previous outings. But he's just coming off of IR, so it might take him a little time to just kind of um, get used to the speed again and just get his rhythm back. So, but don't be afraid to have him challenge this receiving group, especially with him and Tank Dell. You know what I'm saying? I think Tank Dell still got it. He can still, he can still go out there and just really, yes, Tank Dell still has the potential to really just kind of mimic what he did his rookie year. Also, John Mechie. I didn't mention John Mechie during that game recap, stopping that fake punt. But yeah, John Mechie, he's really, I think this is his opportunity to really kind of come along and just show like what he has, what I'm saying, fans are actually excited about. I think he's showing glimpses of that, and I think in this game, this would definitely be a good way for him to use him to challenge that pass defense as well. So definitely get him and Nico involved in this game. Second thing Texans need to do is embrace this rivalry game. So it's a rivalry game, but what I'm saying, this, how can I say this? It's it's a rivalry game for sure. This is probably low key a trap game. If anything, this is probably more of a trap game than the Cowboys game. But the Cowboys, they were kind of, you don't know what you were going to get. They were kind of all over the place with a lot of stuff that they had going on. So who knows if they were ever going to pull it together. With the Titans, I don't see that as much. I see that they did give away some key pieces this year. They gave away Derrick Henry. They gave away DeAndre Hopkins. So they just still have like their little group that's in there. Um, and hell, they even gave us a couple of players with Shahir and Autry as well this offseason. So it's kind of a shell of the former Titans that we're kind of used to in previous seasons. But for the most part, I think that they're definitely going to put up a fight just to see if they can hang their hat on something for this season, especially if it means that they actually beat the future division champs. So definitely look for that to happen. Look for them to just really try to get into that bag in particular. So yeah, it's definitely going to develop into some sort of a trap game, and the Texans can't fall into the trap. They have to embrace this rivalry, and they have to channel it into motivation to actually be better and improve. If anything, the Texans are before the Cowboys game, they were coming off a couple of losses, big losses. One of them they shouldn't, probably both games they should not have lost between the Jets and us, yeah, between the Jets and the Detroit Lions. They should not have lost either one of those games, to be honest with you. But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and things happen. So what they need to do is just embrace this game and channel it into motivation to show that they have improved, they have learned from those particular losses, and they have enough positives from the Cowboys game that they can put on tape and just look at, and what I'm saying, kind of mimic and just go out here, implement those positives and just enhance them. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something I feel that they should really just try to do in that aspect. So that's pretty much all I got for this week. Just number one, don't sleep on this Titans pass defense. Number two, embrace this rivalry and channel it into motivation to just go out there and put up a bigger fight to show that you improved and just show that you gonna win this game. So Texans do that, no doubt. They'll get a W this weekend. So that's all I got for y'all this week. If you're watching this video on YouTube, click the like button. Uh, like, click the like button. Share this video. Also, click the subscribe button. If you're watching this on Facebook, facebook.com/BrandonBlog. Like this video, share this video, like my page. Stay tuned for more content. I'm Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.